Canadian College, success is sure we affirm. Innovating, teaching, excellent achievement, the world we surely learn. Canadian College, not here, go anywhere. People, Canadian College, not here, go anywhere. People, Canadian College, a pathway that leads to the wall. Heritage with dignity, take us to a heightened tone of world we shall be blessed. People, Canadian College, that's here, go anywhere. People, Canadian College, that's here, go anywhere.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here at Maple Canadian College for our virtual fair. My name is Abimbola Adekunle. I'm the Accounts and Administration Manager here at Maple Canadian College, and I'll be your MC for today. So I'll just share today's program with us. The first thing we have for you will be the welcome speech from our president. After that, we'll have the introduction of speakers, and we'll be having different speakers, including Mr. Alon Nazareth, Ms. Sujitra Supacho Charosin. We'll be having Mrs. Dana Marientes Ipiama. We'll be having myself. I'll be one of the presenters. We'll also have an interview session with one of our ex-students, Ms. Jamie Unkoji, and we'll have a speaker from the High Commission of Canada to Nigeria, Mr. Okokun Odiongeye. After that, we'll have the virtual fair, and then we'll have the question and answer session, and then we'll have some closing remarks. So now we have the welcome speech from our president, Mrs. Ebi Obaro. Mrs. Obaro has spent the last 20 years helping Nigerian trained students achieve their professional dreams in Canada, as well as other parts of North America, Europe, and Asia. She's a seasoned Canadian immigration consultant and the first to introduce Canadian education consultancy to Nigeria. Mrs. Obaro remains in good standing with Immigration Consultants of Canada Regulatory Council and is also a member of the Canadian Association of Professional Immigration Consultants. Please let's welcome our warm and amiable president, Mrs. Ebi Obaro. Over to you, Mrs. Obaro.
Yeah, thank you very much, Abimbola, for those kind words and all you said about me. I'm very, very happy and excited to be here today. I want to welcome all our guest speakers for taking the time to be here and to tell or talk to our students and parents about Maple Canadian College. Mr. Raylon Nazareth is from Rosedale Academy. He's been here with us and he's attended all our webinars. and we are very, very happy to have you here today. This is going to be the last of our webinars before we start our program at the end of this month. We also have with us Sujitra of the University of Manitoba. I haven't seen Sujitra in years. I don't know why she's not been coming to Nigeria. She has to explain why. But University of Manitoba has been our partner university for many years, over 15 years now. And we have lots of Nigerian students studying in that great university. Sujitra, you're welcome. We have Mr. Okokon Idiongame. He is from the Canadian High Commission Canadian High Commission in Abuja. He is also in charge of education. Mr. Okokon was in our last webinar and is going to talk about what has been going on with Nigerian students and Canada. Mrs. Abimbola Adekunle has been with us from day one. She's in charge of admin and accounting, and she's a very, very valuable staff of Maple Canadian College. We have with us our Vice Principal, Dinah. Dinah has a part to play today. She's one of our
Mrs. Abara, we lost you there for a few minutes. We couldn't hear you.
I've handed over to you.
All right. Thank you very much. So next, we have Mr. Ralon Nazareth, the Senior Manager of Global Education Partnerships, Rosedale Academy. Rosedale Academy are our Canadian partners. You're welcome, Mr. Nazareth. Mr. Nazareth will be talking to us about the Canadian University Pathway Program. Over to you, Mr. Nazareth.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Abimbola, and thank you all for being here with us on a Saturday. It's a real pleasure. We've completed more than a year now of the partnership with Maple Canadian College. We've had some fantastic student success stories, and despite the pandemic, all of our students were able to graduate on time, get admission into top universities, and receive scholarships, great scholarships as well. So nothing can really hold back the success of the students and the happiness of the families with their experience here. And I'm delighted to be talking to you about your student or your child in terms of potential options for them at Maple Canadian College. I'm going to share my screen with you for a brief presentation, which tells you a little bit about Rosedale Academy and our relationship with Maple Canadian College. How we work together to ensure student success in the program. Before I get into it, a little bit about myself. Prior to joining Rosedale Academy, I used to work with the University of Waterloo in recruitment and admissions, specifically in international recruitment in a number of countries, but particularly in South America and Southeast Asia. It was always my dream to do any sort of work in Africa when the time would be right. And as soon as I joined Rosedale Academy, that was the first opportunity that came to me. And it's been an absolute delight, especially to be part of this creation, which is Maple Canadian College. I'm assuming many of you may have seen the facility or haven't been yet to the facility. It's worth the visit. So please do book some time to go in there and have a look at it. But what about Rosedale Academy? How does that work? Rosedale Academy, we consider ourselves the global Canadian high school. We're headquartered in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and we are an inspected Ontario Ministry of Education private secondary school. Being an Ontario Ministry of Education private secondary school affords us the ability to provide Ontario secondary school credit courses. And however, the main difference between us and many other high schools in Canada is that our programs work internationally. You'll see on this map here, there's a wide variety of countries. We didn't just put those countries there for show. Those are where all of our partners are located. Partners such as Maple Canadian College, and you'll see I highlighted here in red for Nigeria. How it works is that we partner with top institutions around the world to deliver Canadian curriculum. When you look at the education space around the world, there's plenty of options for British programming, there's plenty of options for Australian programming, American programming, but there's very little Canadian programming. Yet there's a lot of demand. There's always inquiries as to, is there a Canadian program in Nigeria for my child? And there is, it's at Maple Canadian College. We specialize in two different things though, and that's very important for me to mention. The first is the actual Canadian secondary school aspect, the ability to enroll in Rosedale Academy and graduate with an Ontario secondary school diploma. But the second piece is the e-learning education technology. We've invested a lot of money and time and resources into developing a very, very robust platform that's been in operation for many years. And it's been tested very seriously through this pandemic. I think all of you will look at your own child and say, how is my child's experience with online education? As I go throughout the presentation, I'm going to talk about how our children, our students at Maple Canadian College, their experience was in terms of going online for that brief amount of time and coming back to school. But what does it mean for us to hopefully try our very best to bring quality Canadian secondary education to Lagos, Nigeria? I say the word try because it's not Rosedale Academy that actually does it. It's Maple Canadian College. It's the institution that actually brings that Canadian program there, holds it to a high regard, and puts a lot of effort and time into making sure it's a high quality program. First and foremost, you can see here an image of the facility. The facility is a beautiful facility. It's very comfortable and state of the art. But facilities are just one thing. The other big thing is the human element. Who are the people behind this beautiful college? The people who set it up, designed it, and work in it, and make it a reality, bring a personality about it. And that starts with the teachers as well at Maple Canadian College and all of the staff. They've all been trained. They've gone through Rosedale's extensive training program for teachers as well as administrators, and they understand how to administer a program like this in Nigeria. Secondly, as mentioned, beautiful facilities that you'll experience as soon as you walk into the college. And not too far away is safe and comfortable residence boarding. My oh my, it's very popular for Nigerian students to come to Canada for their high school and live in a boarding facility. And I must say, the boarding facilities at Maple Canadian College are far superior and far nicer than about maybe 50 to 60% of the schools I've been to in Canada. So when Mrs. Ibarra said she wanted to bring a Canadian experience to Nigeria, I think she did a little bit more than that. The other piece is the University and Career Counseling. Maple Canadian College is owned by the Maple Education Group. That was probably a very important aspect of this partnership. They have excellent experience and relationships with top universities around the world. They know how it works for each and every country. And more importantly, there's that immigration aspect as well. Let's be honest, it's not easy to apply and go through the visa process. It can be very intimidating and very costly. Having someone there that's done it before, that's seen the good and the bad, and can warn you about the whole process is a phenomenal tool. So I think outside of our student experience, our parent experience has been fantastic at Maple Canadian College. What about the credential? But what about the Ontario Secondary School Diploma? Is it better than the Cambridge A-level program? Is it better than the IB Diploma? They're all great diplomas, but I'm here to tell you a little bit about what makes the OSSD unique and special. First and foremost, with the Program for International Student Assessment, the PISA, which happens every 3 years. It's a triennial research study that happens around the world in a variety of countries to look at the quality of level of education in different education systems. Ontario curriculum ranks very high, specifically in math, English, and literacy. In fact, in many times, especially in this study, it's been in the top 5 around the world as far as education systems are concerned. So that gives us a great curriculum to work with that is very diverse and unique from other curriculums, and also allows us to have differentiated education. The last 2 pieces is that dedicated system level support and develop student success services that comes from our partner, Maple Canadian College, which allows us to create an internationally recognized Canadian program delivered to you in Nigeria. So let's look at a bit of comparisons in terms of what the differences are. Now, as I said earlier, the programs that are out there with the Cambridge and the American program, or the IB program, they're fantastic. They're really good options. So is the WIAC. That's why it exists. That's why so many students and parents go through it. But what makes OSSD different? First and foremost, you have to ask yourself, when you look at what your child has been through in the past year, how they've studied, everything has come down to a final examination. So whether it's projects, case studies, activities, whatever your child's school has done, it all comes down to that final exam. And unfortunately, this year, due to the pandemic, many of those exams, as we're experiencing right now, such as the WIAC SSCE exam, has been moved. And that's a lot of pressure on a child that spent a whole year at a school studying, doing homework, doing all these projects, preparing for this one big final exam that makes or breaks their future in their mind. It really doesn't make or break their future, but that's how children think about it. And that unfortunately leads to a lot of test memorization and focus on memorizing the content rather than learning the content. Within the OSSD program, where it's very much about a flexible process, having a large amount of variety of assessments that meets the needs of current student interests. And there's a big focus on higher order thinking skills and skill development. We're living in 2020, and as this pandemic has shown, we can get all the knowledge we need right on our phones or laptops or computers. It's right there. It's not about the knowledge or the information, it's about what you do with that information. So in our program, we really want to develop those higher order thinking skills in every single assessment for students to be able to do something interesting and unique with that information. And last and foremost, it's about meeting criteria on a rubric or checklist that's very clear in terms of student achievement and not based on an answer key. So as mentioned before, for our program, our focus is on higher order thinking skills, applying, analyzing, problem solving, academic skills, which are a given that any program is going to make sure to offer you, and learning skills. You know, your child in a school setting, they're in a smaller class, they're about 25 students, and then suddenly mom and dad say, okay, it's time to go abroad. Get on a plane and off you go and join this university with thousands of students. Good luck. At Maple Canadian College, it's a job to basically make sure we transition you into that. So responsibility, organization, taking initiative in the classroom, being a leader, being able to work independently and collaboratively with people from many different backgrounds, self-regulation and time management of your day-to-day life is a big part of the soft skills that we bring to this program that relates to how students are graded as well. So I talked a little bit about our platform at Rosedale Academy, which is really what our major contribution is to MCC, in addition to the teaching aspect of it. The platform is very robust and was truly tested during this pandemic. If we looked at, if you just look at what your child learned this past year in their homeschool, chances are 90% of children ended up having some live teaching on Zoom or MS Teams, and they had to go on Google Classrooms to upload their assignments and work on something independently for teachers to evaluate. Our platform keeps students engaged. They keep students engaged in the classroom and outside of the classroom. For example, Mrs. Zabaro invested a lot in building a beautiful lab for chemistry and biology. And during the pandemic, we obviously couldn't have students in that lab. Virtual labs were available for students right on the platform to conduct their experiments. Collaborative activities for students to work together continuously. It's not about independent work online at home. It's about interaction and group activities, videos and case studies to engage students in a practical aspect of learning. I remember myself in high school and doing a certain math formula, wondering, when am I ever going to use this in real life? We don't have those kinds of questions in our program. We bring a practical element to everything that children are learning so that they understand who is using that in real life and how it's being used and how it impacts them in their world. Simulations are a big piece of our program as well. So when teachers are at MCC are teaching the content, teaching formulas to students, there's always simulations on the platform to help back that up, to reinforce the learning. We're a big believer in games. Children love to play games all the time. They should use games for fun as well as for learning too. So a lot of our courses, whether it's a social science course all the way to a math course, games are integrated into the program. Our discussion forums are truly global. You noticed earlier I mentioned more than 40 partners worldwide that use our programs. The discussion forums allow for students to interact and communicate with each other. The best example I can give you is was one of our math courses where basically students from one country would put up a formula and students from another country would solve it. And if they're able to solve it, they'd put up another formula and they'd interact and talk about how they came up with the solution for that. And the last piece is presentations. So if there's ever connectivity issues, if students need to work remotely, it's all integrated there. So this is the digital piece that we bring to the classrooms at MCC, which allows for smart education technology and superior teaching and learning experiences. When we look at the courses at MCC that are available to students, MCC offers grade 11 and grade 12 level courses. Each course is 110 hours of learning curriculum, which is quite intensive. And the model of education you see here is the progressive evaluation model, which includes assessments and a final exam. The assessments are worth about 30% of the final grade, and the final exam is worth 30%. So that's a huge shift, a huge change from the typical model in Cambridge, for example, where your final exam is worth 70%. In our case, it's the reverse. That means every single assignment that a student does counts for a grade, and they have a chance to progressively learn and progressively improve in the program. The other thing is that if a student is coming from SS2, SS3, SS1, we're able to evaluate their transcripts and transfer credits so that they can come into the courses that they need for university study. So you'll see here the wide variety of courses we offer, from social sciences into math, sciences, and also in blue is our creative industry courses. These creative industry courses were not created by Rosedale. They were created by Rosedale in partnership with Vancouver Film School. So that gives you an example of how Rosedale partners with leading institutions to develop course content that's relevant for today. And I know those creative industry courses will be very popular in Nigeria as Nigeria experiences a thriving movie industry that's having a global appeal as well. And this is basically a quick summary statement of how to really summarize the whole Rosedale MCC experience for students. And it means a lot. I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, I do and I understand. That's a big aspect of what learning means at MCC, continuous learning and continuous doing. I've had students that have had really positive experiences at MCC, and they all tell me that this has been an amazing experience, but the program is not easy. I've never had to work so hard in my life. And that's what we want to do. We want to challenge them, but we want to make it fun and make sure that they feel like they got some value out of their year at MCC. When a student attends Maple Canadian College, they are registered as Ontario students in Rosedale Academy. That means they'll receive an Ontario education number, an Ontario student record, as well as an Ontario report card. Universities will receive an official Ontario student transcript from Rosedale Academy where their grades are inputted, and the OSSD diploma will be issued from Rosedale Academy. That diploma that's issued from Rosedale Academy is actually awarded by the Ontario Ministry of Education. So it's an official government credential that students will be receiving as far as diploma is concerned. And this is a sample of what the Ontario student transcript looks like that your child will receive. And this is a sample of the Ontario Secondary School Diploma that students receive upon graduation as well. In terms of that pathway program, the education plan, how does that work? These are the types of students that will come into MCC. Students who have finished their O-levels, IGCSEs, students who completed maybe their AS level or didn't do so well in their A-levels, and students from the national system. Many students from SS2, SS3, they choose to come in for the grade 12 program, and even WIAC graduates choose to come in because they've either graduated at a very young age and they need a bit more maturity to prepare themselves. This year, unfortunately, due to the pandemic, there's been a number of students in Nigeria that have gone to Canada for high school and are planning on coming back to complete their program in MCC at home in Nigeria. And I say unfortunately because it was a pandemic that caused that kind of feeling. But more importantly, the main thing is that there's options for your child here in Nigeria, that they don't have to feel like they've lost something. How it works is that the people at MCC will look through your transcripts and they'll ask your child, what do you want for them to study as far as university is concerned? It could be business, engineering, social science, or sciences. We put them in a stream, and that stream is a group of 6 to 7 courses that they would complete in 10 months at the grade 12 level. They can receive pre-admission to all of MCC's partner universities. They'll complete an Ontario literacy test that happens in April, and they'll also complete 10 hours of community leadership service. And when they graduate, they'll have an OSSD. They'll qualify to apply to any university around the world, and especially Canada. And this is what we mean by unique global university application model. Let's do an example, for example. Let's say I wanted to study engineering at a university. MCC staff will make sure that the engineering courses I take allow me to apply to any university around the world. So what that means is that I would take a course in English, I take advanced functions, calculus and vectors, I take physics, and I take chemistry. And then I take a couple of other electives to round up my courses. In every single course, I'll have 15 assessments in each course, which includes research reports, case studies, presentations, essays, and unit tests. That's worth 70% of my final mark. And then I have a final exam that's worth 30%. This is our progressive evaluation model. Your child continuously learns and improves throughout the course in terms of their learning, and they're not intimidated by a major examination. Your top 6 courses is usually what universities are looking for. Some universities look for less, some universities look for more. And you graduate with an average that's calculated on your top 6 courses. So that is what is used to assess. So that's totally different than an IB score, for example, or your Cambridge assessment. And that's neck and neck in terms of admissions offices. And as far as that global admission advantage is concerned, this is a fantastic piece. So there's a lot of advantages depending on where you choose to study. First and foremost, in Canada, one of the big advantages is that the students that apply, especially in Ontario, when they apply for admission, an international student will normally get an international scholarship based on their grades. But what's really nice is that they also qualify for domestic scholarships that would normally be awarded to students who studied in a Canadian high school in Canada. So that's fantastic. That's an additional 1,000 to 5,000 Canadian dollars in entrance scholarships that you can get just because you have the OSSD. I just want to qualify the statement though, is that when you do apply, you are still an international student, so you pay international student fees. You're not paying domestic fees unless you are a permanent resident or a Canadian citizen. In the UK or Australia, the fantastic benefit is that you don't have to do an expensive foundation program abroad or A-level or a 2-year A-level program. And it's a very unique diploma to be applying with. You're also able to stand out in the United States where the SAT is not required for most universities. Of course, if you want to apply to a university like Harvard, yes, you need to have the SAT, mainly for competition purposes. And the last piece, if you're going to Malaysia or Singapore, which are very, very popular destinations for Nigerian students as well, the IELTS or TOEFL is not required if you have the ENG4U course. It's able to meet the language requirement. These are some examples of top universities that clearly state OSSD requirements. I think everybody expects the Canadian ones naturally, but if you take a look at the US and the UK, for example, University of Oxford, it's right there on their website as far as the OSSD admission requirements. And that's what we mean by global acceptance. But last but not least, this is a big piece. MCC celebrated 1 year of success, and the program's only going to grow from here in terms of students applying to universities around the world. But Rosedale, we've been doing this program for a number of years with a variety of partners around the world. And MCC came at just the right time, because what they have now is a proven program that has serious success stories. So 96% of our graduates have been accepted to top 100 universities. These are the universities that have given admission to our students. That's very important for us to highlight, because what that means is that these admissions offices have seen Rosedale transcripts. The students have been admitted and they've gone through a process. And our students get about 4.6 offers of admission every year. So this is a very important aspect that I wanted to highlight as far as quality is concerned when you choose to study at MCC. So last but not least, to kind of summarize my talk here, first and foremost, greater access to top university programs in Canada, US, UK, and beyond. You're applying with the OSSD, the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, using grades in the courses that are required. You're getting a top-notch curriculum. And last but not least, you're enjoying a modern immersive learning experience as if you were in Canada. In every single Rosedale course at MCC, there are 2 teachers involved. There's a teacher in Nigeria that teaches you the curriculum. And then there's a teacher in Canada, an Ontario certified teacher that marks and grades all of your assessments and assignments. So it's a very unique experience for students that has a lot of support, not just in Nigeria, but also in Canada. Thank you very much. That's my talk. I apologize if I spoke too fast, but I'm here to answer questions as well, always. I'd like to turn it back to Mrs. Abimbola to take it from here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that expository and beautiful presentation. That was Mr. Ravon Nazareth from Rosedale Academy, our Canadian partners. Next on the program, we have the Student Recruitment Officer from the University of Manitoba, Ms. Sujitra Supacho Jaransin, and she'll be speaking on the University of Manitoba Admission Guide. You're welcome, Ms. Sujitra. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much for the MCC team, and thank you for having me here. It's been a privilege, and you know, we've been working with Maple Education and for many number of years. So me and Abby go all the way back. But very excited to be here, and I know my time is quite short, so I'm gonna kind of get right into the point. And of course, there will be question and answer session at the end. And if you have questions, we can definitely use that time for addressing this. So I would like to start us off quickly though, to show you a little bit about our campus, okay? The image you see here is our Fort Garry campus, located in the residential area in the south side of Winnipeg, roughly about 20 minutes away from downtown. The Fort Garry campus is one of the U of M main campuses, and this is where many of our students start their journey at the university, okay? There's a couple buildings that I just wanted to kind of point it out to you. So the building that you see in a star, like the blue star there, is Pamina Hall building, and Mary Speechley Hall, Athermorrell, and University College. So these 4 buildings are our on-campus residence buildings, okay? And the rest of the buildings that you see then are either classroom or research facilities on campus. So the Fort Garry campus is about 140 years old, which is, you know, quite old. And that's when the university was founded in 1877. U of M is the largest post-secondary institutions. It's a public institutions and the only medical doctoral school in the province of Manitoba. We're also research intensive. We're a member of U15 alongside big university like U of T, UBC, just to name a few. So what that means to students is that professors teaching on campus are researchers, giving students direct access to participate in research community, both domestically and globally. We have over 29,000 students on campus, and about roughly 20% are international students. We have actually quite a good number of Nigerian students, and other international students representing over 120 countries around the world. We offer over 100 academic programs ranging from undergraduate level to graduate level. U of M is located in the Winnipeg. It is the capital city of the province of Manitoba. Winnipeg is located very close to the US border in the south, okay? And it is a medium-sized city, about the 8th largest city in Canada. Now, the city is a medium-sized city and well known for a very crisp, clean air, but the main attraction here is actually affordability. Winnipeg is ranked as #1 most cost-competitive city across all of the US and Western Canada, particularly when it comes to cost of living and housing. There are certain benefits of coming to Manitoba. The government of Manitoba offer opportunity and programs that can help international students establish a long-term residency in Canada, such as the Provincial Nominee Program. And in terms of our economy, overall, our economy is growing and it's great, lots of diverse range of occupations and opportunity for students to get a job and, establish their residency here after graduation. The main key area industry here, including aerospace, technology, agricultural, and food industry. We also have a distinct 4 seasons, summer, winter, and fall and spring, and we have a lot of sunshine. Now I'm going to move on and talk a little bit about campus experience. I mentioned earlier about our on-campus residence buildings. If you guys are interested, of course, you can go to our website right here, and that's also where you can find application as well. So it will be a while until your child or your children will come to kind of experience this, and I'm pretty sure that the MCC team will be able to help them navigate through. On campus is not mandatory, it's an option. So we allow students to stay off campus as well. We also offer homestay program as well for those who are interested. U of M is a research intensive university, so therefore lots of research opportunities available in almost every faculty, and some of our programs also offer cooperative education program, which allow our students in their 3rd and 4th year to gain work experience and get paid while they're actually studying. But most importantly, they gain connection with employers, as you can see in this stats here that show how successful our students can be after graduating and find employment. In addition to co-op and research opportunity, we also offer over 100 international exchange programs and community service learning programs as well. All of this just to enhance and help students learn that essential life skills and soft skills, which make them become very employable in Canada. Now I'm going to move on and talk quickly about programs we offer. Now, first of all, there are two entry options to come to our undergrad program: direct entry and advanced entry option. Generally speaking, all of our undergrad programs have advanced entry option, where students are allowed or need to come and get entry to university first and take some courses in order to be eligible to apply. Having said that, there are some programs that offer direct entry option, where student can apply directly from high school, or student completing MCC program can absolutely be able to apply. So here's the list of our undergrad programs here. We have a wide range of programs, as I mentioned earlier. First thing is you might notice that the program you see here is more like a faculty. So the way it works is that student will apply into a faculty, and then we'll be able to select the courses, which will allow them to be able to declare the area of specialization later on. For example, if students are interested in computer science, they want to make sure they're applying to Faculty of Science. The second note here is that you might notice that some programs have a Maple Leafs note. Those programs are have restricted admission eligibility, okay, and they're not open to international students. What that means is that students need to be a permanent resident or Canadian citizen before they will be eligible to apply to these programs. And also the program with the rate funds are programs that have direct entry option. So those are programs that students can apply directly from high school, or from, once student complete MCC specifically. Now for program that doesn't have direct entry option, for example, law, for example, nursing, for example, student will gain will gain entry into university by applying to a very unique program called U1. It's a flexible first-year undeclared program we offer. U1 allows students to come in and take their first-year courses with a lot of freedom and flexibility. As you can see in a diagram here, student in their first year can be either U1 student or direct entry students, and they will be able to take their first-year courses and basically able to complete their program in the same length of time. So U1 is not a foundation year or anything like that. And the reason I'm kind of, focused on this because, there's a lot of students who might not be exactly quite certain about what they are interested in doing and they want to expose themselves more. We offer a program that can sort of help them to do that. Okay, I'm going to go quickly and talk about application process now. As you can see, just to show you the flexibility that we, have 3 intakes in a year, so it's quite flexible. Majority of the program that have direct entry options are going to have an intake in the fall, and that's actually kind of fall pretty, in terms of timing, pretty perfect with the timeline for the MCC students, because this past year we have quite a good number of students applying from MCC. I was very excited about that, and the application process was really very smooth, very quick and easy, and so kind of worked really well. So the application will go live in October of every year prior, and the deadline to apply is March the 1st, and that's also the deadline for entrance scholarship as well. In fact, some of the students from MCC, I believe, also gain an entrance scholarship at our university as well. Now, for admission requirements, quickly, for the university one, we definitely accept and recognize the OSSD, okay? And specifically for our admission requirement, we look at the minimum 70% average over the following senior level courses. So grade 12U or M courses, okay? So in this case, English, advanced function, and 2 additional academic courses, what the Rosedales, have been laid out in the MCC program, I'm pretty sure that it will definitely fit this program admission requirement, no problem, okay? For direct entry program, for example, I give an example here of engineering. Same thing, you might notice that the average is a slightly bit higher. Instead of 70%, we're looking at 85. Particularly program like engineering, you want to actually have a grade higher than the minimum because of the competitiveness of the program. Meeting minimum requirement does not guarantee admission, so you want to have something a little higher. And again, the subjects are, just like Mr. The Rosedale staff has just mentioned there. Okay, so we will need English, advanced function, physics, and chemistry. Sorry about that. For the English language proficiency, students who were born and schooled in Nigeria will be exempt from English language proficiency when applied to U of M, and that's simply because Nigeria is on the list of country exempt from the English language proficiency. And so with that, we don't require students to have to complete proficiency tests or anything. We don't require SAT, ACT, we don't look at letter of recommendation. The only thing we're looking at is probably a final official transcript from Rosedale, and that's all we will need. Quickly to talk about tuitions, and that's probably one of the main attractions to our program as well. Our cost of tuition is, across Canada, we are considered to be among one of the lowest, okay? So you can see our range of program in Canadian dollars is ranging from 48,000 to 22,000. The higher range will be more for the program that require lab components or, equipment, for example, engineering or business, for example, while the lower range are going to be in the area of humanity arts, economies, things like that, which require a lot of lecture, but not a lot of lab components. I also add the book and supplies in here, okay? For the resident package, I also put it in there as well, and that's include meal as well. So that roughly is what you're looking at per year. That is about 10 subjects that student will be taking over 2 terms. And of course, we offer financial support both at the time of admission and also after student become a U of M students. At the entrance scholarships is applicable when student apply, it comes automatically with their undergrad application, and they have to apply for the fall term. So that's only the term it's applicable for, and apply before March the 1st. we can talk more detail about the criteria when we get into question and answer. But that's about it for my presentation about University of Manitoba. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that beautiful and engaging presentation. That was Ms. Sujitra Supercho-Jaransin, the Student Recruitment Officer from the University of Manitoba, Canada. Next on the program, we have our very own Vice Principal, Mrs. Dinah Mariantes Ikbiama. She'll be doing a lesson demo session for us. You're welcome, Mrs. Dinah.
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry I was muted. Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be here to be doing this demo lesson for everybody. Let me just go ahead and share my screen. I need to be, please make me co-host so I can share my screen.
All right, you can share your screen now.
Okay, thank you. So while waiting for my screen to load, I just want to introduce myself. I'm, again, Mrs. Dinah Ikbiama. I'm one of the physics and mathematics teacher at MCC, and it's my pleasure to be here. All right, I hope you're seeing my screen. Please let me know.
Yes, we can see your screen clearly, Ms. Dinah.
Thank you. All right. Okay. Bear with me. Okay. So the target audience for this demo lesson are actually grade 12 students who are hopefully joining us in as Mr. Ray mentioned earlier, we keep our students engaged. However, since we don't have that much audience, I encourage everyone to participate. Okay, so we are in a safe environment, so no wrong answers will be condemned. So everyone, all answers are welcome. Let's go ahead. Go ahead. So before we look into the objectives and the lesson proper, let me give your brain a little exercise through this experiment. Okay, what you see is a man trying to drink the liquid using 2 straws. My question is, will he be able to drink one straw? Will he be able to drink when one straw is positioned inside and touching the liquid, and the other is outside of the glass and not touching the liquid? This is supposed to be a poll, but for some reason I'm not able to show or send a poll to everybody. So I think poll is not enabled by the phone now. Since it is not enabled, I want you guys to think, and I'll give you 2 minutes at least, or a minute or two to think of your answer. Will the man be able to drink through the straw? And then I'll ask for volunteers later on. 1 minute is running. I hope you're able to get the question. Can the man drink the liquid using 2 straws? One straw is touching the liquid while the other is outside of the glass. Okay, can you have volunteer? I think I'm pretty sure you have already thought of the answer. Can I have a volunteer to share a thought or two? Anybody? It's the yes, he will be able to do it, or yes, he will be able to do it, but with difficulty maybe, or no, none at all. Those are the choices. Any?
Please, if you're answering the question, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, ma? Yes, Mrs. Bimbo?
I was just telling our viewers to unmute themselves if they are answering your question.
We have a response from Mr. David Nanji saying yes, he would be able to do it on the chat box.
Yes, okay. Any other answer, please? I'm actually trying to navigate to the chat box too. Any other answer? Attempt?
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
you will be able to do it with some difficulty.
Thank you. Thank you, mister. All right. Before we actually look into the answers, let's discover the concept behind this. Why this is a daily activity. We drink using a straw. We drink using through the glass, but we didn't realize the physics concept of it. Thank you for your answers. So I'm getting two answers. One is yes, a definite yes, and the other one is yes, but with a little difficulty. Okay, let's go ahead and discover the concept. Let me proceed to let's skip the poll. So basically the goal of this short demo lesson is to explain and apply the concept of air pressure in certain scenarios. Now in that specific scenario, but before we go to that, let's understand first that atmospheric pressure is also called air pressure. And it says that atmospheric pressure is the effect of the force exerted on the surface by the air above it, as the gravity pulls it to the earth or towards the ground. Also, pressure difference causes air to move from high to low pressure. Now, considering all these concepts, let's go ahead and discover how is this going to be applied when we are drinking. Okay, looking at the example, looking at the illustration, rather, you see a woman trying to drink. So with just a straw sitting in the glass, the pressure on the surface of the liquid is the same, including on the little bit of surface inside the straw. It's the same all throughout. Now, when you start sucking, you actually suck the air out of the straw. Thus, you decrease the pressure inside the straw because you took the air out. Now that decrease in air pressure creates pressure difference. Since there is now a pressure difference, it allows, well, where's the pressure difference? This low pressure inside the straw and the high pressure outside the straw. Again, what creates the low pressure is the sucking. Now, since there's a low pressure, there's a pressure difference, the water or the liquid is pushed into and up the straw. Thus, we are able to drink the liquid. So going back to the question, can the man drink the liquid using two straws? The answer is, I am so sorry to blow up the bubble. The answer is no, a definite no. Why? You won't be able to drink through the liquid because remember, we need pressure difference. As you try to suck, no matter how hard you try, the straw outside the glass will keep supplying air. Thus, no air pressure difference is happening. All you get, in other words, is air into your mouth and not the liquid, and that sucks. So I hope that's clear. I want to put this into an application. Let's say we put the scenario in the moon or on the moon. The astronaut is on the moon. Will he be able to drink soda using the straw? Can I have an answer? Will he be able to drink the soda? The astronaut on the moon, can he be able to drink the soda? Applying the concept of air pressure and the concept of pressure difference. Is it a yes or a no?
No.
Thank you. Yes. No. Because on the moon, there is no air pressure. That means no matter how hard we suck, we will not be able to create that pressure difference. Thus, you will not be able to drink. Thus, the straw, rather, on the moon is useless. Thank you. And just a fun fact, though, do you know that Coca-Cola was able to beat Pepsi in their cola race supremacy? It's actually Coke who was able to, the first cola on the moon. And this is how it looks. And Pepsi actually sent their own version 8 hours after Coke sent their version back in 1984. So this is what you see on the left is the Coke version, is the real, how to call this, cola version of Coke on space, and on the right is that of Pepsi. So that's just fun fact. I know we could talk a lot of air pressure application, but unfortunately, I only have 10 minutes in my time, and so that's the end of my lesson. But I just want to give a quick before I end my presentation. I just want to say that MCC is a great place to study. We have passionate teachers, we have dedicated teachers, we have a very good platform we call Moodle, and personally I'm teaching physics and calculus, and it's not it's a tough area to sell. Most of the students don't like these subjects, but I assure you that I always tell my students that with physics can be easy with Mrs. D rather. So I always try to make it easy and enjoyable, and I hope I did justice to the quick demo lesson I prepared for you today. That's it, and thank you for your participation. Thank you. Back to you, Mrs. Bimbo.
Thank you very much, Ms. Diana. That was Ms. Diana bringing to us a demo physics lesson. And many of our students in the last set didn't like physics when they joined us, but by the time they had spent like 2 weeks into the program, they were already loving physics, and they did very well in physics, as in their other courses as well, because in Maple Canadian College, we make the teaching and the lesson experience fun, innovative, interesting, and simple, so they're able to learn easily and do well in their assessments and exam. Thank you very much, Ms. Diana, once again. So next, I'll be presenting to you Maple Canadian College. I'll just share my screen. All right, I'm just trying to get it on the slide view. Virtual Fair. Who would have thought of this in 2019? That in 2020, we'll have to live in the confines of our safety, yet ensure that we don't miss out on life and on the things that matter to us, and on the lives of those who matter to us. Indeed, possibility is in the mind. It is possible to achieve your educational goals. We can make it possible in this virtual fair. Yes, we can. Maple Canadian College is here in Nigeria, partnering with Rosedale Academy, Ontario, Canada, to offer the Ontario Secondary School Diploma outside of Canada. You need to partner with a Canadian educational institution. We have partnered with Rosedale Academy because they have years of experience of taking the program outside of Canada. They've taken it to countries such as Panama, Peru, China, and many other countries, and they've had 100% success with their students, meaning that all their students have gone on to get university or college admission offers. So the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, otherwise known as OSSD, is one of the top 5 high school diploma programs in the world. And as Mr. Nazareth shared earlier on, it is accepted in many countries around the world. So Maple Canadian College is an offshoot of Maple Education Limited, and it is a grade 11 and grade 12 university preparatory college designed to bridge the gap between the Nigerian high school, between the West African high school syllabus and the Canadian high school curriculum. We offer the University Pathway Program, and our students can apply to global universities with the OSSD. So even if they're applying to universities in Britain, they do not need the A level. They can apply with the OSSD. Our vision statement is to become a model for innovative teaching and academic achievement across the world. Our mission statement is to provide a world-class Canadian education to highly motivated students and set them on the best path to achieving their academic and professional goals in top-choice global universities and colleges. Our values are academic achievement, professionalism, and integrity. Our motto, merit, creativity, consistency. That's MCC. What do you benefit when you come to MCC? We have top-ranked partnerships with many universities and colleges in Canada. We offer you a world-class program, the OSSD. Like Ms. Dinah showed us during the demo lesson, what we offer is a blended learning of teaching. So we don't just, our teachers don't just come into class and talk. There are other types of learning opportunities as well, including video, including presentations, including classroom activities. So they learn, our students learn here in different ways, which make them highly motivated. We have global affiliate schools. We have outstanding expertise from our teachers. We guarantee admission for successful students, meaning that if you get a high grade, you will be accepted into a choice university. We are located in Lekki, Lagos, which is a premium location. Our facilities, which you'll be seeing later on during this session, during this virtual fair, are state-of-the-art. Our fees are highly competitive. If you would like us to send you our fees, you can send us your email and phone number. You can type it out in the chat box, and we'll be sure to send it to you before the end of today. We offer visa processing services in-house. We prepare your children for college and university life. So you'll be hearing from one of our ex-students very soon, and she'll be sharing her experience here at Maple Canadian College with you. And she'll let you know how we actually prepared her. And we offer you a fully funded scholarship. So Maple Canadian College admits students ages between 14 to 18 years. To apply to MCC, you need to send us a completed application form. You can pick that up for 10,000 Naira. Today, we offer it to you for 5,000 Naira. When you're submitting your application form, you need to include your school transcript. If you're coming from grade 11, the transcript should cover from grade 9 to grade 11. And if you're coming from grade 12, it should cover grade 9 to grade 12. You also need to submit the data page, a copy of the data page of your international passport, your passport photo, and results of any external exam you've taken, such as WAEC, NECO, IGCSE. For some students, science students, math students, business students, engineering students, they'll be taking a math entrance test. Now, the math entrance test is just for us to test how strong you are in math, so that if you're not strong enough, then you'll be enrolled into a grade 11 math program. But if you are very strong in math, then you'll go straight into grade 12. Remember, what we're here for is to bridge the gap between the WAEC syllabus and the Canadian high school curriculum, because we know that there is a gap. Not all the topics covered in the Canadian curriculum are covered in the Nigerian syllabus. Mr. Nazareth has shared the courses we offer here, but I'll just show you how they are organized. So under communication, you can see the courses we offer. We offer English, media arts, visual arts, and French. On sciences, we have physics, chemistry, biology. Under mathematics, we have advanced function, calculus and vectors, and data management. IT and statistics, we have computer science. Under social sciences, we have economics, politics, and world history. And we also have under health, nutrition, and health. And for business, we have international business, financial accounting, and business leadership. We also offer practicum, which is community leadership, where our students go out into the community to be of service. And we also offer the individual growth career planning program, where you learn more about yourself, your abilities, and that guides you into choosing the right profession. I'm just going to stop sharing this document to share another one where you'll be able to see our course streams. So we have different course streams for different disciplines. So for the health disciplines, students will be offering these subjects: English, physics, chemistry, calculus and vectors, biology, and advanced functions. They might also be offering the grade 11 functions. Remember I said, if you're not very strong, which will be revealed by your score in the math test, then we'll be enrolling you for the grade 11 functions. Engineering students, you can see the combination of courses that they'll be offering here in MCC. Computer students, you can also see the combination. So we can also send you the different course streams for your discipline. And we'll be going through your transcripts to make sure that you have the prerequisite for the subject you'll be doing here in MCC. So for example, if you're going to be studying physics here in MCC, you need to have passed your physics in grade 11. There are some subjects that their prerequisites, their grade 11 prerequisites is just English. And that will be shown, that will be seen in this table here. You have the courses that we offer, and then you have the prerequisites that you need. So you can see that for Canadian and international politics, world history, economics, and nutrition and health, the prerequisite you need is English, grade 11 English. So I'll just stop sharing this document and I'll go back to my original document. So you must have noticed that we actually have course codes for all our courses, and that is how we identify our various courses here in MCC. So I'd just like to explain the course code to you using this example. So the first letter denotes the subject, the department for that course. So this M that you see here, if you look at this box, the first box here, M stands for mathematics. The second letter represents the grade, the second letter and third letter represents the course. So the first letter represents the department, mathematics. CV here represents calculus and vectors. And then the number represents the grade. So for grade 4, it means that the course is a grade 12 course. And the last letter, U, represents university. If we had an M here, that would represent university or college. So the courses we have here in Maple Canadian College actually end with M or U, that's university or college. Mr. Nazareth has shared these different skills that you can gain from coming to MCC, And these include global awareness, ethics, time management, critical thinking, solving complex problems, concept mapping, integrative communication, group collaboration, presentation skills, digital fluency, academic writing and reading, citation usage, individual and academic growth, efficient note-taking, and strategic prioritization. You can see from the demo lesson that we had with Ms. Diana, I think from there we were able to actually develop a critical thinking skill. So your child will benefit from coming to MCC. Your child will develop all these skills while here at MCC. And we say what we offer you is blended learning. So these are examples of the different types of mediums that we use to present our lessons here at MCC. We have interactive activities, virtual labs, video and multimedia, simulations, textbooks, discussion forums, embedded assessments, problem sets, lab reports, presentations, which is research reports, and then we have our tests and exams. And remember, like Mr. Nazareth shared with us, it's different from the WAEC syllabus. The WAEC syllabus, the exam represents about 70% of the entire syllabus, while the course assessments represent 30%. In the OSSD program, it's the other way around. Course assessments represent 70%, and then exams represent 30% of the program. So by coming to MCC, your child will have a better opportunity of getting a higher grade. And this is an example of our school calendar for this session. The start date is August 31st, and it will run to June 25th, 2021. You can see our holidays in the first semester and holidays in the second semester. This just shows you the difference between the WAEC syllabus grading and the Ontario grading. Under the WAEC syllabus, the grading system for A1 is 80% to 100%. In the Ontario equivalent, A1 is 90 to 100%. So our students go through a very rigorous training program here at MCC to make sure that they actually achieve the desired score that they need to gain admission into the university of their choice. Most top universities in Canada require students to get at least 90%. And I'm telling you, here at MCC, it is very, very achievable. These are some of our partner universities. So we have, you've heard from University of Manitoba. Earlier on, we had Ms. Sujitra from University of Manitoba. And these are some of our other partner universities in Canada. And this doesn't mean that our students can only apply to our partner universities. They can apply to universities throughout the world. So this is a list of the universities that offered admission to our students from the 2019-2020 set. You can see top universities here, such as the University of Waterloo, University of Albert, the University of British Columbia McMaster University, the University of Sheffield. You can see popular universities, Carleton, Trent, other universities. So rest assured that by coming here to Maple Canadian College, your child will be admitted into the university of his or her. In the last set, we had scholarship offers from various Canadian universities to our students, totaling 2,500 Canadian, and you can see the list of universities that made these scholarship offers. We have Brock University, we have Carleton University, we have University of Alberta, we have University of Toronto, we have University of Waterloo. And you can see the total amount that had from each of these universities, the largest coming from Carleton University, which was 96,500 Canadian dollars. So by coming to MCC and working very hard, you can actually get scholarship offers from the universities of your choice, which will help in your fees, the amount of fees that you pay to the university. Stop sharing this document. I'll just show you the performance of our previous set of students. So you can see the performance of our students. You can see the class average, various courses. So in history, they had 84.75, economics 91.26, English 71.67. And with English, we realized that Nigerian students usually have difficulty in following other countries' curriculum because the other countries actually do more practical lessons. Nigerian courses are less practical. And for English, we had the issue of plagiarism. Now, plagiarism means that you use someone else's work without citing, and you really need to cite as needed to get into the habit of citing. So even when you paraphrase, you still need to cite, showing that the work was not originally. In the second semester, our students actually got used to citing, and so they did better in the second semester. So characters, we had an average of 82.63. In functions, we had an average of 80.20. And just one student, I need to let you know this, that only one student did not offer grade 11 math. And you can see the results of offering the grade 11 math. The students actually did better in their grade 12 math. And then for nutrition and health, the average was 84.50. And for biology, it was 95%. And so we come to the end of my presentation. If you'd like to contact us, you can call us on 0906-752-7130. That is 0906-752-7130. We'll be dropping our other numbers in the chat box very soon. Our email address is info@maplecc.ca. You can also write to us at hello@maplecc.ca. And if you'd like to go on our website address is www.ca. You can also join us on our different social media platforms. The handles for each of those platforms, the handle is Maple Canadian College for each of those platforms. Thank you very much for joining us today. Before we move on, I'd just like to remind us that if we have questions, we can drop them in the chat box. We'll be answering those questions later on during this fair, so please do not go. Thank you very much. Next on the program, we have an interview session with students from the 2019-2020 set with Jamie Nkwoji.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Jamie.
Thank you.
Hey, Jamie.
Hello.
I want to start off by saying congratulations on your offer of admission to University of Manitoba and many other
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much to Mrs. Sujitra for that lovely presentation. I think it confirms why you chose Manitoba, but we'd love to hear from you first and foremost. What made University of Manitoba the ideal choice for you in your university journey?
Firstly, I will not lie. The University of Manitoba is one of the reasons why I chose the University of Manitoba is based on cost. It's very much affordable, especially for someone like me who's a student. And I love the environment. University of Manitoba is really diverse in the sense that it's cultures. And well, that's one of the reasons why, those are the two reasons why I chose the University of Manitoba. That is diverse and expensive as well.
Absolutely. That's one of the most attractive features, of course. And things that parents need to think about is the cost of education, right? So what I love about the situation when a student chooses a university like Manitoba, it's 15 research universities, it's globally recognized and it's accessible as well. So I'm glad to be hearing that you're going to be joining the community University of Manitoba. And what program did you receive admission to?
Faculty of Science. Yes, study biochemistry.
Biochemistry. Okay, so your area of focus is biochemistry. You want to get into science. What's your long-term goal?
After my 4 years of studying biochemistry, I would love to pursue. Medicine, the medical course. Yes, because I want to become a doctor. So yes, that's why I chose chemistry. And I really love biology and chemistry. So
okay. To hear that. And you know what, I actually wanted to ask you in terms of that, your experience at MCC and Rosedale, what was probably the best experience you've had in MCC? Or what's the one thing that you could tell parents and students about your experience at MCC in preparing you for that next step, which is University of Manitoba?
I love the communication among teachers and students. That was my best thing about MCC, because the teachers, they are hardworking. They have very, very hardworking team of adults that value the progress of a child. And they are available 24/7, both school hours and when they're at home, via email. So I really loved the relationship and the communication between students and teachers. It was really nice.
I'm glad to hear that. And what was and we want to tell parents everything, right? And so that they have an informed decision. What was your favorite course at MCC, and what was your course at MCC in terms of challenge?
My best course would be biology, because biology is really challenging to me. It's vast. I love biology. And well, my least, I'm really sorry, Miss Diana, was physics. It was physics, but then I conquered, I guess. It was okay at it.
That's the key thing, right? So everybody has a best and favorite, right? I don't think Miss Diana is surprised at all. She expects students to come into it not ready for the fun part of it. So what were some of the things you did to conquer, or what are some of the things that you were in that physics course to help you conquer it and get through it and move on?
Like I said before, the adults are really helpful. Like, the teachers are helpful. And Ms. Diana is one of the most helpful teachers at MCC. She puts in extra hours looking for space to teach us history and what will get us through the course. And besides Ms. Diana, I also put in time myself. I would stay up late into the times reading physics just to get a good grade. It wasn't easy, but like I said before, I can't.
Exactly. No, that's great to hear. And I think that's one of the things we want to stress at MCC is that the program is challenging, and it's also fun, right? So at the end, you do feel a sense of reward. Jamie, thank you so much for your time and coming out. We're so proud of you at MCC and Rosedale Academy. Don't be a stranger. You know where we are. If you're ever in Toronto, please do come visit us at Rosedale.
Okay.
And if we're ever in Manitoba, we'll definitely be there. And I know that there's a thriving Nigerian and Nigerian Canadian community in at the University of Manitoba. So you'll be among some great friends when you're down there. Congratulations, Jamie.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jamie Nkwoj and Mr. Nazareth for anchoring that interview. We're supposed to have a presentation from the Trade Commissioner, High Commission of Canada, Nigeria, but due to reasons beyond his control, he's not joining us today. So we'll be moving on to the next item, which is, for now, we'll be taking questions and answers. But before we do that, I'd just like to let us know that for WIAC students are finishing their exams about the 11th of September. So they will be resuming at MCC on the 14th of September. And the NECA students will be finishing their exams about the ending of November. So they'll be resuming here at MCC on December the 1st. So we have something worked out for those two sets of students. You'll be completing the academic year with the students that start on day 1, which will be the 25th of June. So we have everything worked out for you. So we'll be taking questions now, and the questions will be answered by any of the speakers, including our president, Mrs. Obaro, including Mr. Nazareth from Rosedale Academy, and Ms. Sujitra from University of Manitoba. So I'm just going to scroll up to the first question in the chat box. So the first question is, how can my children go to further their education in Canada? They can go to further their education by coming to Maple Canadian College to do their grade 12 here. So when they get to Canada and they are in their first year of university, they will be on par with other students from all over the world. The next question from Engineer Uzoma: can the OSSD be used to gain admission to medicine in the United Kingdom? Mrs. Obaro, are you there?
Yeah, sorry.
All right.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Can the OSSD be used to gain admission to study medicine in the United Kingdom?
The answer is yes, if the child meets the requirement for the university in the UK, because the OSSD is equivalent to British A-level. The answer is yes.
All right. Mrs. Obaro, can they get admission straight to study university or to study medicine? Can they get admission to study directly?
I know that in UK, medicine is very, very competitive, but we've had students who got into medicine with WIAC results, and if that would happen for WIAC, it would definitely happen with OSSD.
Mr. Nazareth, would you like to say?
I mean for UK, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Using the OSSD.
Right. For admission to UK universities, it's used as an alternative to the A levels. So for many students that choose to go to the UK from Nigeria, they usually have two options after their IGCSEs. They either go in for a 2-year A-level program or a fast A-level program. And in some cases, they go directly to the particular university they want to study in for a foundation program. Those is an alternative to all of that, so that you can choose a Canadian curriculum program to go to the UK, which is fully accepted I think you saw earlier University of Oxford as an example of a university that listed the OSSD requirements. So you have that at your disposal for admission, but the beauty of it is that you have a lot of flexibility with the OSSD program. So if you're not 100% sure on the UK, or you're not 100% sure on a university, you can still apply to other institutions at the same time and see what offers are made to you, see what scholarships are offered, and then make the decision that's best for you and your family.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nazareth. Thank you very much, Mrs. Obaro. The next question from Mr. David Naji. Does MCC give full scholarship? Mrs. Obaro, would you like to answer that question, please? Does MCC give scholarship? And I think he also wanted to know if the scholarship application deadline for this academic year is over.
Yeah, MCC this year offered full scholarship to one student, and this came from Rosedale Academy and MCC, and it covered tuition, accommodation, feeding, and uniform, everything. But I'm afraid to say that it's closed. So yes, we do offer scholarship.
Thank you, Mrs. Obara. From Gloria Onu, I'm interested in the Diploma in Agriculture program. Can you confirm if it is available to international students? Mrs. Obara?
I think Sujitra should answer that question.
All right.
Thank you. So yes, we do offer agricultural diploma. It's a 2-year program, and a student from definitely from MCC can apply. The best thing about this program is that it's really kind of right to the point, and admission pretty simple, and it's also during the whole diploma programs, you know, the idea, the concept is quite different from a degree in a sense that it's really focused on the practical and very focused. So that's why it's only take 2 years, and the program student will be doing will involve a lot of going out and getting a real hands-on work experience. So part of it, and from what I heard from the faculty is that almost 100% of the students that go through the program, they're all got a job after graduation. So that's really positive. Yes.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sujitra. And if you'd like to apply, you can send us your email address and we'll send you the application form. The application fee is 10,000 Naira, but for today, we are offering it to you for 5,000 Naira. So you can pick up an application form today, complete it, and return the documents that we'll be including in that application form. And
there's one question you have missed out, Bipola. I'm interested in computer science. What is the combination of subjects at MC? And I think that question is for you.
Interested in computer science. So the combination of courses, I'll just share my screen. All right, I'll just mention the courses. So the courses you'll be taking will include English, math. So you'll be taking English, physics. All right, I need to share my screen so that you can see clearly. So for computer science, the first term will be of international business and physics. If you're not very strong in math, and that will be tested by our entrance test, then you'll need grade 11 functions. And for the second term, you'll be enrolled for calculus and vectors, economics, and advanced ones. So you're allowed to take 3 to 4 courses per semester, 3 compulsory courses, and then you can add. So we'll move on to the next question. When will the next scholarship offer start? That will be next year, about June, July. So the one for this year is closed. So someone else is asking, Dr. Magnus, are there available diplomas? I would like diplomas in healthcare, IT, or engineering. I know, Mrs. Sujitra, you already mentioned something on agriculture. Can you also share with us if this is possible?
Absolutely. So now one thing I have to kind of suggest is that University of Manitoba is like, you know, I like to use this analogy, like a universe consists of different planets, and myself living in undergrad planet. So most of our programs are actually a degree program, with the only exception of a diploma is in agriculture diploma. Now, having said that, there is also a planet of a division of extended educations, and that a whole lot of you know, short-term diploma, stuff like that. I don't believe we have one in healthcare, but we do have one in those sort of like business or counseling, things like that. But I don't have, because I don't live in the extended planet, so I don't really know a whole lot of information about that program. Now, if you are interested though, feel free to go to the website Extended. I can just type in the chat box as well so everyone can see, but umextended.ca, and that's where you can find a lot of information about diploma.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Sujitra. So here in Maple Canadian College, our courses include grade 11 and grade 12 computer science. So you can actually enroll for those courses at Maple Canadian College as well. And another question here from Engineer Zoma. My child is entering year 12 now. When can he enroll at MCC?
Can you
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Did you hear the question?
Yeah.
So the answer to that is your child can actually enroll in MCC now so that he does his year 12 here, MCC. And after MCC, he'll go on to the university of his choice, wherever he chooses, anywhere in the world. And he can also join us after he completes his year 12 in the school where he is right now. So you have that option. Either that he joins us now or he joins us in a year's time. I think that's the last question. Mrs. Zobaro, would you add anything before we move on to our virtual tour?
No, I think you've covered everything. But I would encourage Engineer Uzoma to register his child this September, because we had a student who came from SS2 last year and joined our grade 12 class, and she did exceptionally well. Her grades were fantastic, and she got into about 6 universities.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Obara.
Before we move on, and I wonder if I can say something about you know, the MCC program, how the experience from the MCC transfer and help student transit into university. And I just wanted to say, an admission officer and actually working pretty closely in the Nigerian market for a number of years, Evie can say that. And I have seen the students that coming straight from Nigeria, you know, completing WIAC versus students who actually involve and actually get OSSD or doing high school placement, kind of like this. And there definitely are differences between the two. And students, I definitely feel the confidence, the level of confidence, the understanding, the different way of learning, it's definitely will help student transit and make a difference in university experience.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Sujitra. And so we move on to the next item on our program tour. will be taken by one of our ex-students from the 2019-2020 set, Mr. Praise Oyewole. Praise, are you?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right.
So the floor is.
All right. Thank you. Good everyone. Welcome to the MCC Virtual Tour. I'm going to be taking you around our beautiful facility in MCC, and I hope you enjoy this tour. All right. So when you first come into our building, you see our building secure. Now the ground floor of our beautiful school, and you would see the banner that this is the direction in our building. You see cafeteria. If you look over to my right, Education Canada, they help us with our papers, our passports, and our immigration details. Everything you need based on your moving. They make our transition to Canada swift. All right, so this is our motto in MCC, which says start here and go anywhere. And I believe as a student, ex-student of Maple Canadian College, the school has helped us here, which is right here in Lagos, and be able to gain admission to different schools abroad, Canada, and whichever continent or country you want to go to. All right, welcome to our cafeteria. In our cafeteria, you see it's an amazing space. So when I was here in MCC, I was here a lot because I like food. But apart from that, I think 1 p.m. in the afternoon to get your lunch, and you see there are 3 baskets where your cutlery are. You can get your plates, and because you owe life outside of Canada, so you have beautiful serving area. This is where we come to get our food, and we had variety. And I remember a couple of times when we told Ms. Obaro that we wanted different things on our menu, and she was able to get us that within maximum 2 days. And we enjoyed this semester, or whenever you're something to go home, to write home about. All right, we're going to the first floor. And coming to on the stairway, you see a number of quotes which our president has helped us and put up for us to see to keep us motivated. And this is one of my favorite. It's consistency is more, because when you're more consistent at something, you be perfect at for perfection. But you always have to remember you have to be consistent at first. We're arriving at the first floor, and you would see the background, the black background with our school logo and our motto again as well. You see this is where we chill as students, and depending on if you come to visit, you can stay around here. I remember coming here a couple of times to wait for my friends during lunch, and I stayed here a couple of times to just relax and plan for my next activity. Spacious, well-equipped, and fantastic space to read and clear your head. We have state-of-the-art books. Depending on the courses you're taking, you have a book for every. We don't offer. We have a couple of books in case you want to do your own research, and if there are a lot of books as well. So you see, each space is partitioned to help each student focus. I'm a student that learns and focuses by myself. I don't need distractions. So I would sit here normally and enjoy my space and just read, depending on whatever I want to do. I'm here and I'm reading as well. All right, this is our printer and our scanner. This is where you scan your work and you print your assignments. Our course Moodle, you have to scan your assignment for your online teacher to be able to help you to mark those and grade your assignments. And in our library, you would see this, these are handouts and flyers for different universities. The various universities, if you want to go to, if you aspire to go to any university, you can find those here. It doesn't have to be in Canada. You could find a couple of universities outside of Canada as well. This is our next chill area. I call this a chill area, but it's just a waiting. This is a chill area, and you can see we're relaxed and we're working at the same time, because if you see, these couches are upright, not for you to slouch, but you also relax on them. I've stayed here a couple of times to do my assignments, and coming to school in the morning, when our principal, because one thing MCC tries to imbibe in you is responsibility and time management. So our principal always made us come to the assembly hall early. So I realized that it's safer and smarter and wiser back here and go for my breakfast in the morning. And then while I'm coming back, I go straight, instead of going off to get my laptop or my books or my notepad to draw whatever my principal is saying. So I kept my bag there and I was able to have a safe walkway anywhere I wanted. So this is the hall. You can see everything is spaced out because we're obeying the social distancing rules laid down by the government. We're also law-abiding citizens in MCC, so you obey the law. All right, when we didn't have the COVID-19 around, our chairs were more tightly packed together, and our principal would stand here every morning, speak to us about how our week is going to be, and a couple of times Sobaru also came here to address us on various things, our behavior and etc. So you see, this is what MCC stands for: merit, creativity, and consistency. You see consistency again. Consistency is one key to perfection. So MCC tries to imbibe in you and be consistent in whatever I'm doing. And that's one thing MCC does. You make creative students and you merit whatever you're aspiring to do as well. So if you come with me, you'll see we're going to the computer laboratory. This is our computer laboratory. This is where you write your entrance exam. I wrote my entrance exam exactly on this system. I remember this system. And you see there are partitions to be able to help you focus on your work. If you're like me that just likes to focus on yourself and do your work by yourself. But if you don't want to, you can just pull your chair back and see what your mate is doing. This is where you do your computer classes if you're going to be running any of those programs. And also, when your laptops, or if your laptop is faulty, you can bring it to the technician to fix. But meanwhile, you have the access. Every student has access to one of these computers, and you can use them to do your work. I remember a couple of times when I broke my laptop, and I had to come here to give my laptop to Mr. Charles to fix, and he did it in a day or two, depending on the damage, and I was able to do my work here and submit online. If you've noticed something, everything is wireless. It's the modern age. So we're doing everything new. You don't have this much state-of-the-art computers in any other school, but MCC has them. These are new lockers to be able to accommodate new students that will be coming, more students actually. So here, we're in the multifunctional laboratory. This is where you conduct your experiments and you have practical classes as well. So you see, you're not only hearing about these things, you're also seeing them and touching them with your hands. This is the physics area, the chemistry area, and the biology aspect. Although you do some on this other side, it's more biology and chemistry mixed, but this is mainly physics. So as a science student, you come here, perform your experiments, because with your Moodle as well, you have some practical experiments to do, although you have your virtual lab as well. But when your teacher wants to let you know how these things will see, so you're getting the first-hand experience instead of just when you go to university, you see all these things for the first time. And you also have diagrams as well for biology, and that over there is the extraction of iron if you do chemistry. And yes, I did chemistry in my semester 1. Yeah. If you look to my right, you'll see writings on the wall. And you see idea, teamwork, plan, collaborate and action. These are core skills that students get from that's the MCC advantage. Because as no man is an island, as you know that say, you have to have an idea, you have to be able to plan, collaborate, and it gives you an action when you have teamwork as well. So you see, we're a school of creativity. So now we're going to the second floor. And the second floor, we have our classrooms, the admin, and the sick bay as well. So you see more quotes to help you go through your day. You see, dear past, thank you for your lessons. Dear future, I'm ready. Dear God, thank you for giving me another chance. And for me, MCC was my second chance at education, because in my previous school, I didn't do too well with grades. So coming to MCC, I had to take advantage of my second chance, thanking God for that, and able to do well and be able to proceed in life. All right, so on the second floor now. And when you come here, this just absorbs you, like you're going in straight. This is hockey. This is ice skating. This is Niagara Falls. It's the maple tree, the Canadian flag, maple syrup. If you've ever been to Canada, you know a couple of these things, and you know how they're associated with Canada as well. Yeah. So this is our principal, right? And this is where you come to speak to your principal and get advice on your day and various things. If you want to see how you're doing, like with your overview, you can come to your principal, and you and your principal would have a dialogue, because that's what MCC does. You speak, you learn how to speak to people that are older than you, and be able to communicate well. So you come here, you speak to your principal. I came here a couple of times to speak to my principal about how I was doing grade-wise and how I could improve or do something better, different. All right. Next, you have our notice board. Why would I show you a notice board? Well, this has like this is where you come and you look and you see and you create an aim. Every day I had the privilege of changing the days of the week or the day of on the schedule, and this made me be consistent, because if I didn't do this, I would throw everyone off and everybody would be wondering what day is it, what day is it, what day is it. But because I was able to be responsible and consistent with doing that, I was able to help everyone and also be helpful to people. You can see this is another couch, right? And in MCC, we work hard, but we also have to relax. So when you're doing your work, or you just feel relaxed and you don't want to be in a setting, this is a place where you can come and do your work. I've sat here a couple of times, or we're going to do about our assignments, and just discuss and feel relaxed. Okay. These are our classrooms. This is the first classroom, and this is the small students, and you can see around the walls actually, more graphical illustrations of different things. Although I don't know anything about this because I didn't do biology. I think that's biology. But yes, This is the classroom to accommodate students with smaller courses with smaller students. This is the big classroom. I had most of my classes here because I did most of the courses that had larger group students. And everyone has your bag, your desk, and everything you need to be able to focus in class. You'd see you have a projector screen right here, and this is where your teacher projects your Moodle, your coursework, and sometimes, most times, our teachers, because they're professionals at what they do, different slides apart from understanding that we need to be able to pass the course with flying colors. And you can see also we have a whiteboard for your teachers to annotate as well if they want to. Whoa. Learn and lead. And then when you come to MCC, you're built up to be a leader in whatever thing you do, in your course, in your field of study, whatever you're doing, you're built up to be a leader. And that's another classroom over there as well. You can see we have lockers to keep your bags, and this is where you're actually meant to keep your bags, because most times our classrooms are always filled with wires because of we're charging our laptops and etc. So you always have to keep your bags in your locker so no one trips on your wire or your bag when you're in class. So it keeps our stuff safe, and we also build a safe environment as well. This is the guidance counselor's office, although it's locked right now, but you come here, discuss with our guidance counselor, Mr. Victor, on what you need to do. He's like our principal as well, but he's more engaged. So same with our principal, he's more engaged with us as well. He guides us on things, your career choice, the school you want to go to. So Mr. Victor is the person you talk to be able to get more advice on it because he's experienced in it. So this is our sick bay. Well equipped with an AED to save lives, and our nurse is a professional at what she does. So you can come here with a headache, stomach ache, whatever pain, and our nurse will be able to give you whatever you need. She can diagnose you, whatever sickness you come with, she'll be able to tell and give you the required care you need as well. And I remember a couple of times my friends and I will come here to measure heights because that's something most of us always talk about and argue about. So we come here and nurse will just tell us to stand here. And although this is not where you come to play, but our nurse was nice enough to let us do those kind of things as well. And that's a female washroom as well. So you see, when you come to MCC, you learn differently. You see that you can sit down, relax, and learn, and also be in a serious environment to also learn as well. So that's what you get when you come to MCC. You learn differently because the school is trying to breed you for something outside of Nigeria, something outside of your comfort zone, what you know best. So coming out of your comfort zone was one important thing for me when I came to MCC, because I was used to staying in my classroom all the time to do my assignments and whatever I needed to do. So this, see, there are more to help you get past your day, to help you think well and also assimilate. But there's something about images that I've realized. Like you see a lot of images and it gets stuck in your brain, although you may not need it at that point in time, but it helps as well. Now on the third floor. When you come in here, you see this gigantic red print read. This actually motivated me some days when I was feeling like these courses were too much for me to handle. These courses were too much for me to just move on. But talking to my principal and the way the environment is, I was able to pick myself up and motivate myself to continue reading as well. So you see, this is another chill area where you can lounge, relax, do your assignments as well. So you don't have to be in the classroom to always do your assignments. Now, this is the student lounge. This is where students have fun. Although you have fun in the classroom as well, but this is where you're more relaxed. Not much reading done in here, and you're just chilling, relaxing with your friends, playing games. We have a table tennis, indoor or outdoor, whichever one we would like to play at any point in time. We have fun. I remember a couple of times, really intense games on this board with a couple of my friends, and it'll be time for class, but they'll be struggling with you to go back to class. But yes, those were things as well. Now we're on the rooftop. And this is a lounging area for you to relax and chill with your friends. You can also do your assignment here if you wish. A couple of times I've been here during my assignment with my friends, and the view, and there's something about nature that just drags you in here, and it's amazing. It's a really amazing feeling, and I hope that people will be able to enjoy this the way I did as well. Now we'll be going to the rooftop garden. Up here is the pinnacle of the whole school, where you can see everything, right, left, anywhere. You can see the sea, you can see the ocean, and it's just a relaxing feeling when I come up here to study with my friends or talk with my friends, and the wind it's just an amazing feeling. And I remember a couple of times here with a couple of my friends as well, we would discuss about our assignments and deliberate on different issues that we felt needed to be or spoken by each of us. So we spoke to each other right here, and you see, it's safe. So you don't need to worry about anything. We're all safe here. It's just an amazing view. It's just an amazing view. So now I'll be taking you to the gym. All right, so we're back inside. This is all right. This is our lounge, where we sit, relax, deliberate on issues. Like up there, there are different spaces in school. Management of the school understand that to relax ourselves, even while doing assignments. I remember my friends and I, Deji, Noya, Sadiq, David, just having fun here. There was a couple of times that Sadiq would be here, we'd be solving math issues together, grade 11 functions, add functions, physics, whatever. We just bring it to that couch and we tear it up. This is our gym. It's well equipped with things you need to keep fit. You have your weights, your tread, and your stationary bike. So during school, because you're doing a lot of stuff and you're in one place, this is here for you to loosen up and have aerobic exercises as well, because that helps assimilation when you're reading and doing all sorts of things, but learning. So we have these to help us loosen up and just stay fit, because we do a lot of work based on our screens. So this is just an amazing thing. And we also have these treadmills facing the amazing view. So you see everything is put at a strategic point. So while you're jogging, you're having an amazing feeling or feel just to clear your head and prepare you for your next courses or classes. All right, you see again, another couch. This is not to give up the feeling that we don't work so hard in MCC. We work so hard, but we also have to relax as well, because our bodies aren't machines. So when you're reading and using your brain, you also have to relax your body as well. So this is another couch where you can wait for your teachers. And this couch we mostly use when we want to see our teachers and we're waiting, because some other students might be in there. So you don't have to loiter around there. So you can sit here and wait for your classmates as well. This is another classroom. And this classroom was mainly used for subjects like business leadership, international business, and my friends, I never did any of those courses, but my friends told me that those courses were tasking, but they were able to get through because of their amazing teacher, Mr. Awe and Mr. Chinedu. So this you can see work on the walls of coursework as well. So you're graphically representing what you learn. That is a way to say it's another learning style to help you retain information well. So right, I'm going to be taking you to a classroom that we the students turn to like our basic tutoring room when we do a lot of peer learning in MCC, and this is a board that helps us annotate when we don't understand, and we will just hear a couple of don't understand the subject with your teacher or students that understand the course so well that they can explain to each other as well. So this is what we use this classroom for mainly, to teach each other and help each other to progress. And because we're a team, we always take each other along everywhere we're going. And that's what's kept us and helped us to be able to achieve good grades as well, accompanied by our teachers as well. So you can see we have more lockers to be able to accommodate more students as well. So just be rest assured that your belongings are safe and everything you need is kept intact as well. So you can see this is our staff toilets. This is where our teachers ease themselves, relax, yes. And this is the staff room. This is our teacher's domain, right? Outside the classroom, that is. And this is where our teachers come. This is their office, and this is where they relax, prepare your coursework and what they're going to teach you in the class. I remember a couple of times that I've come here to, this is Mr. Sam's desk. So I met Mr. Sam, and Mr. Sam was able to explain stoichiometry, a couple of things that I wasn't really clear about while I was doing my chemistry course as well. So you have everything. Our teachers are also well equipped to be able to teach us anything they feel that we need to be able to get through the course well. This brings me to the end of my virtual tour. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I would love and hope that you be able to experience this facility the way I have also. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, Mr. Praise Oyewole, for that beautiful tour. I'm sure we were able to see our state-of-the-art facilities. So this is what you experience when you come to Maple Canadian College. Safety, comfort. That is what your child experiences. We do apologize for the break in transmission experienced during the tour. This is as a result of some fluctuation we're experiencing in our internet connection. And so we'll be rounding up very soon. We'd just like to remind us that you can pick up an application form today at the cost of 5,000 Naira, and you can submit that with other documents that will be detailed on the application form. You can also call us at 0906 254 0705. That's 0906 254 0705, or you can email us at info@maplecc.ca or hello@maplecc.ca. We'd like to thank all our parents, students tuning in, all our guests. Thank you for joining us today at our virtual tour. Thank you to our speakers, to Ms. Aralo Nazareth from Rosedale Academy, to Ms. Sujitra Supacho Jarensen from University of Manitoba, our very own Ms. Diana Marentas Ipmiama, our ex-students, Ms. Jamie Nkoji and Mr. Praise Oyewole. Thank you for being a part of today's virtual tour. Mrs. Obaro, would you like to say a few things before we end today's?
I think you've said it all, Abimbola. I want to say thank you to all of you for being here today. I believe that in MCC, your child will be able to achieve their dreams of studying in Canada. We've done this for 1 year and we've seen the results. All our students got into universities in Canada and in the UK without even having to complete their program, because our admissions are processed after the first semester. Apart from the state-of-the-art facility that we have a very, very good curriculum from Rosedale Academy that has made it possible for our students to graduate with very, very high grades. If you remember the results that you were shown, the average was about 80-something%. That is very, very high. They did even better than some students that went to Canada to do the grade 12 program. It's not going to be a waste of money, it's not a waste of time. Just like Sujitra said, students who do the grade 12 program, even though they have the YX certificate, are better prepared to do well in university in Canada. Yeah, so applications are available online, but you can give us a call and we'll send you the application as soon as possible. And if you are in Lagos, we'd like you to schedule a visit to our campus. School starts very, very soon. All our students who have done their WAEC exam, their IGCSE, or students who are coming from SS2 will be starting on the 31st of August. But students who are taking WAEC, we are starting on the 14th of September. And students who will be taking NECO will be starting in December. So we have all our students covered. We have arranged the program to make sure that they catch up and graduate in flying colors. So thank you very much once again. And Sujitra, it's so nice to see you. I hope that you come to Nigeria very, very soon. A lot of our students actually are going to University of Manitoba, and that's because it's one of the top, well, it's a very, very good university, very diverse, large number of students, lots of programs, and affordable. So hopefully we'll see you soon in Nigeria, Sujitra. And thank you very much, all of you, for being here. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mrs. Obaro. Just to let us know that we do have residents here at Maple Canadian College. We have the girls' residence and the boys' residence. And we also have our house parents, 2 house parents at each of the residences. So your children are actually supervised by mature adults. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Hope to see you all soon. The first day of the session for students is the 31st of August, 2020. Thank you for joining us today. Have a lovely weekend and God bless.